Missouri Politics midweek update coming to you from the state capital in Jefferson City. Pre-filing, right? Tomorrow is the filing deadline. I think it could be an interesting day. You could shoot me your questions, DM them to me. Let me make sure I'm right. I have my personal DMs up. It's at Scott Fon on Twitter and Scott Fon on DM. Let's start off with redistricting questions. I got here Dan in Macleod County. What broke the logjam? The honest answer is they finally made Senator Onder happy. That's what they did. They made him happy with. They got him to a place he could accept. It was about 81 there, something like that. About 81%. St. Charles County in one district. Now you might say, well, is he going to run now? No, he's going to wait. I would say there's a chance to challenge Congressman Luke DeMeyer later, but no. And I don't think, there was a lot made of, Congressman Luke DeMeyer's drawing the district stuff. I think he had the most stroke of any member of Congress on the districts. Yeah, sure. But in the end, no, I don't think he drew this map. I don't think I don't think you could pin this on him, right? And Wagner didn't draw this map. There was Senator Onder. There was a group of folks. Senator Koenig worked very hard to find compromise, but the compromise was Senator Onder played his hand dominantly. It was you don't get anything really in the Senate overall unless you meet my price, and he did great. He did awesome. So that's how politics goes. If you're strong, you get what you want. If you're not as strong, you get the shaft. Why did SEMO get mutilated? Combination of things. I don't think that was a deal made in Jeff City. I think that was a deal made in Washington D.C. And so basically, if nobody. This is the difference of being speaker. You can kind of sit in the office and not do anything and get your way. Not do anything. You can sit in the office and have to be in the fight all the time. The speaker can get his way very easily. Senator Onder had to fight from underneath. They both got what they essentially. It was two people wanting the same things. He said, "Don't split my county." Onder said, "Don't split my county." Onder compromised more than the House for sure and got his county. Now, question I had 2 or 3 questions here from Facebook and Twitter. We'll go Brian's. Will the House pass this map today? I think so, because this is how the House works for the most part. Especially when you get over 100 members, the speaker can do whatever he wants. Because you might have 5, 6 dozen rebels that'll think for themselves, but that's the thing is when you get that few people thinking for themselves, they don't matter. You're not going to get 30 very often. And if you get 30 thinking for themselves, it's a real interesting thing because you get to think, and let's say you're a person that does think for themselves, but you're like, well, I don't want to get out here on something and lose a vote that I'm not for, right? That I'm going to lose on. I don't want to take everybody off and make a big stink if I'm going to ultimately lose. So what you do is you just don't say anything. And while you probably would be, if the Republicans could give up 10 votes, let's say the majority was 92. Well, you get 12 guys together, that's possible, 12 men and women, then they're more likely to be in on that. Or let's say it takes 15 votes to stop something. And you're like, I'd be vote 12, we might win this. So you'll go on your own. But if it's like you got to have you and 30 some of your closest friends, you're just not going to do it. And that's where it is now. So, there's nothing that Senator Onder did that Speaker Piscopo didn't do. And good for both of them. Hat tip to both of them. I say good for them. They got what they wanted, and folks that weren't willing to fight, they got left in the dust. Now, I will say this. I remember the last congressional map was thrown out because there was a little finger that went from the 6th district down into Blue Springs. That's what the map got rejected for. This map has fingers going all kinds of places. The truth is, people have look, the map's going to get credit and blame. Fine. I get that. I understand where you're coming from. You're upset. If you don't like it, that's the way. That maybe is the way it's meant to be, right? But here's the truth. Here's the facts. Currently, this map was not drawn to be compact and contiguous. This map was not drawn for a 7-1. If you're biting on that, you just got suckered. Sorry. Happens to everybody. If you haven't got suckered on something, then you haven't been in politics very long. The truth is this was drawn to meet 2 individuals' demands. It was not drawn to be a 7-1, 6-2 partisan whatever. It was not drawn for compacted contiguous. They split Iron County. Jesus Christ. I mean, you could just take an extra precinct in St. Louis and you have Iron County. They split Iron County because, and it looks ridiculous, because this was meant to make Speaker Scovo and Senator Onder happy. And we'll see if it makes Speaker Scovo happy if they vote on tomorrow, today. Senator Bratton got a lot of things. He voted yes. I mean, this is the interesting thing. This is why you got to be there, right? Having someone there matters. This is the emergency clause they all voted for, right? Because they might need one too. But this is interesting. So Senator Onder he won an 85%. The first map had 30% in St. Charles County. But the third, he wanted 85% of St. Charles County. The third, they compromised on 81%. That, sir, you want Bob Onder negotiating your next truck purchase. There is no two ways about it. So you had a couple folks that were out, Bean and Huff. I would say likely Huff would have been tough, probably not. And then I don't know how Bean would have went, but you had you flip down through, you see Senator Onder was a no vote. He got to vote no. That's when you knew he just did it. He boat raced everyone. When he got to go down and say, I'm not even voting for the map that gives me everything I want except 4%. They even cut in something down by Defiance, something in South St. Charles County. I mean, it was a weird map. But again, it wasn't drawn to be contiguous, it wasn't to be compact, it wasn't drawn to be 7-1, 6-2. It was drawn to make a couple people happy. And it looks like it did that. But when Senator Onder voted no, Senator Searpoint, Senator Rader changed their votes, which I thought was, if I'm them, good on them for convincing him to vote yes in the first place. But they switched their votes over to no because, if you're going to give the guy stuff and you have to vote for it, Senator Onder should have wore a ski mask to session because, that was just dominating performance on really the rest of the entire Senate. Kudos to Senator Hoskins, Senator Moon, Senator Eichel being good friends, but he boat raced him. Senator Bratton got such a good deal he had to give in. Not totally sure. I just have a breaking news. This is the next. I got these questions from several folks. Charlie in St. Louis, is Lincoln Huff going to file? I can tell you that Lincoln Huff is going to file. I can tell you that I have breaking news. He is filing right now. I don't think he was ever really not going to file. I'm a little disappointed. Why did you make the drama till tomorrow? I was asking about surprises on filing day. I don't think this is a surprise. I think he was going to run all the whole time. I think probably wanted to wait. The logical move, everybody says you want to be the first on the ballot. That's fine. I think you didn't know how Greene County was going to shake out, right? They could have put him in a couple different districts and he had to refile, so that's a little bit of pain. But as I understand, he's over at the Secretary of State's office right now, filing for re-election. That is a good thing for the state of Missouri. When people like Lincoln Huff don't run for re-election, that's a problem for the state as a whole. Peter Meredith filed today. When people like Peter Meredith give up, whether you like Peter or not, whether you like his views or not, he's a serious guy. When those kind of people don't want to do this, that's a problem. And luckily, they still do want to do this. Look at my side knowledge here. This is a terrific side. That's for a long time. It's from a buddy of mine named Brad. He's up in the great Northwest. That's Cole County water for your state capital. I'll bust out my side of knowledge Wednesday complete with the Budweiser in it. We'll see if my predictions are right. But if I had to give you a surprise filing, let me see here. It would not surprise me to see a higher profile person from Jackson County run for state senate. I don't think that happens, but that would not be shocking. I don't think you'll see anybody run 24th against Tracy. I did see a gentleman file, very successful guy, very intelligent guy. But that district, while they stretch it out long, it looks very different. It's a very generous Democrat district. And it's the kind of folks that are becoming more and more Democrat, right? Long shot. If I had to say, there'll probably be some House will file. I don't know. But as far as their surprise filing, I would venture you don't have a surprise U.S. Senate filing. State auditor, that's a hell of a primary now, I doubt, in the heavens. If I had to just guess, I'm going to say you'd have the Speaker of the House will run for Senate. I've told you this from the past. He started off telling everybody, I never want to do that, never want to do that, never want to do it. I was going to be state auditor for a little bit, and then, he ended up calling some of his fellow Jefferson Countyans. He didn't have the guts to call one. He had a consultant do it, and said, "Oh, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna run." Then he said, "I'm gonna run." Then he backed off, and I guess there was some ambiguity. Now he's backed off it, and I'm not gonna run. The angry ones don't leave. It's like the person that tries to be too cool for stuff, and they make the jokes about, "Oh, this place," or whatever. Those folks fine. So I'll take a sip. And I will have, can't have this time, a whole collection. I'll have a special Stein Wednesday to my Stein of knowledge that tells me he'll file. It'll be full of Budweiser, I told you so. It'll be I told you so Wednesday in Jeff City. And don't ever doubt Stein of knowledge again. It's never wrong. I know Rob Escobo. I know Rob Escobo better than the 7 hairs left on the top of his head. That's my prediction. Take it for what you will. What else we got here? Oh yes, here's a good one. I'm not going to say this guy's name. I know it kind of came to a guy that you all know. This is epic. This is the so Webster County Lincoln. Normally not the most bare knuckle affair, right? Not the most kick you in the teeth thing. However, this time, let's read it. I got sent this. I texted Senator Cunningham. He spoke. Senator Cunningham, that's Webster County's his home. The redistricting map if you were wondering if this was drawn for individuals or just to get a map done, and again, here's the thing. That's a critique of Senate leadership, maybe, possibly the senators. But in reality, they made a trade-off here. It's like Jason Smith and his senators made a trade-off. The trade-off was, are you going to do you believe that whatever deals he cut will become budget chair, Ways and Means chair? And if they do, then he's setting great, right? If they don't, then it's just he serves all 5 trips. It's just a bad deal. If he gets hit by a bus or doesn't run or whatever, then it's a nightmare because you could have some city slicker from St. Louis. I mean, what the Senate drew was a suburban St. Louis district. And if there's a suburban St. Louis and representing Ripley County, so I can't. That's a disaster. The Senate, they want to pass legislation, and so Senator Cunningham handed this thing out down there. I can't give you my full sources, but this is Senator Cunningham himself. At the bottom, it says paid for by Mike Cunningham. This is what he was giving out, and he gave a speech to this effect. The black and white fashion redistricting attack on Webster County. But Webster County got divided. I think they divided the courthouse. I'm talking about bizarre. I guess you could. I'm sure you could justify. I don't know how. It was a plot to help people's political ambitions. I think that is true. 7 Republicans in the attack. He went through the conservative caucus. I think in this, Senator Burleson wasn't that active in this, except for, I guess, this. I don't know. Senator Hoskins got what he wanted, I suppose, but Senator Hoskins had a thing to hang his hat on with the 2 bases. Now, do I think did he stop filibustering once that was there? Not really. But at least he had a reason that wasn't just, hey, this helps me, right? Diddy Hoskins had the best hand to play here because there wasn't really a self-serving aspect of it. So that helped him. Senator Moon, I think, just a filibuster. That's what he does. He wakes up in the morning, filibusters, and that's how it goes. Senator Brad and Senator Burleson and Senator Onder, they all had dogs in the fight. Bill Ila, I think, was being a good buddy. Plus, I mean, look, if you're from St. Charles County, good for you. You want your home county out of this? I mean, fine. I never understood why it was okay for the House to do this, but the Senate wasn't. That never, never made sense to me. So that to the degree they're responsible for the attack on Webster County, Senator Burleson clearly wanted that out of his Senate district. Maybe Senator Moon did too. I don't know. Senator Koenig was trying to compromise, so he was more an accessory to the attack, right? I think Senator Koenig would have been fine to leave Webster County in the 8th, put it in the 7th, put it wherever. I don't think he was. The thing about being the guy that looks for compromises, if you don't like any of the compromise, you blame him. He took that on himself, which is admirable. But I don't know that he deserves blame. I think he was just trying to get a map done, which I think he was. him and Caleb Rowden were in the same boat. Just what do you need to do to get a map done? And so I don't know that Canning's fair, but okay, he's in the caucus. For months they attacked the conservative Republicans. Yep. There was never a 7-1 map. There was never a 7-1 map that had a credible chance of ever passing either chamber. I think that's true. I understand it was good talking points, and I appreciate good politics, but I think it's true. There was never a real 7-1 map. It was a lie that this is Senator Cunningham's. It was a lie that manipulated us. I don't know about. I mean, that's strong. I think people are talking. I think if they had to pick, they were going to pick their district looking better. Now, maybe not Cinder Moon. Maybe Cinder Moon. The rest of them, yeah, they were all just dealing their own hands what they were trying to do. They supported a 6-2 map, and look, they came out and said, "Hey, we tried to get 7-1 maps, and they didn't work." And so there you go. This is Senator Cunningham. Look at this. In a shady late-night backroom deal that cut out nearly all members of the majority party, career politicians joined together to construct their own congressional maps and hurt local communities. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of they were working on it as they were printing it, an 11 a.m. deal. But yes, it was all night. The 3rd district, they cut it. He brings out there was a tiny parcel of land put in the 3rd. I don't know what that would matter in a congressional district, though, right? They cut that little corner, the southwest part of St. Charles County, back into the 3rd. I don't know how that helped. I mean, I understand what it matters, what county you're in, or even what school district. That counts your taxes. But, I don't really get why it matters what congressional district you're in. I don't get that. That one I don't understand. So, clicking back through here. Cinder Roberts, I believe, is running. So you heard it. See, listen to this, you know what's up. He's running for Congress, going to take on Cori Bush. He was a big winner. He got some changes. Not all. Look, Steve Roberts is the guy that he didn't get. So what's the difference between, 30 minus 85 would be 55. I'm going to take my boots off here. So 4% out of the 55. So he got around 7. He got 90-something% of what he wanted. Steve Roberts probably got 60% of what he wanted. But he's running for Congress. Busy day at the Secretary of State's office. Jay Ashcroft working after 4 o'clock like a good Republican. Rick Bratton, another member. This is from Mike Cunningham. So his name's on the bottom. He said a lot of this stuff in his speech too. But that was an interesting. Imagine being a statewide candidate sitting there with this going on. You're just trying not to make your face move, so nobody can try to tell what side you're on. The 3rd congressional district was reported that the Post dispatched that one member, Bob Bonner, at the last minute in the back room. That was the 3rd. Another member, Rick Bratton, running for Congress in the 4th, so they cut the homes of his 2 strongest opponents out of the new 4th. I would be considered Cunningham's strongest opponents. Strongest opponents, but look, Taylor Burks has been running, in my opinion, the best campaign of the 4. That's a big deal. Here's the thing. And if you're Rick Bratton, you're like, well, I'm a state senator. Fine, I can do what I want. I mean, it's blatantly raw power, but it is what it is, right? So that's the way it goes. Excuse me. Here we go. This is the thing. 2 members of the Special Interest Caucus, Senator Moose and Burns, are running for Congress the 7th. The group decided it would not do well here in Webster County. We are not their people, so they diminished our vote in a brazen attack on the people of Webster County. Okay, that's pretty close to true. I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know what would be different between Webster County or Dade or Lawrence or whatever, but Senator Burns did want Webster County. And the map he has now has the most bizarre cut. Outside of maybe Ann Wagner going all the way to Pilot Knob. But again, if you're saying, that makes no sense. Well, it makes no sense for what you're trying to do, right? But if you're just trying to get a map passed, then it's not. Then you got a map pass, right? I mean, I think it's wrong to think that you're somehow. I don't understand how you're somehow gonna dog it out if your goal is just to get a map passed. Then this is what you had. It was not easy, too. By the way, it's not like these decisions, especially the more controversial ones, were not. They were done because that's all you could do to get this done. Period. Clear violation of the Constitution standards. Now this is getting interesting. A clear violation of constitutional standards that says, when possible, communities of interest should be kept together in history and preserved alongside communities of interest based on social, cultural, and economic similarities. This is what I really think, right? I think that every redistricting map, especially when you get into federal court, federal is a very different animal than state stuff. So federal courts have power just right under God, near the Holy Spirit, under Jesus. But I mean, federal courts can do whatever they want. If you think that a federal court couldn't put you in jail tomorrow if they wanted to, you're very wrong. Federal courts do whatever. So when you get federal policy, every court, every map gets litigated, right? Every map in federal court. This will be. I would be shocked if this isn't litigated. This sounds to me like Senator Cunningham leaning in to maybe helping with a challenge, right? And if you're from Webster County, yeah, I would want to, do that. I'd want to be a part of that. This is Senator Cunningham. This corrupt, self-serving map literally divides Marshall in half. It takes thousands of votes. They can flip a county from the 4th to the 7th to further their own ambitions. I mean, it's so corrupt. I don't like to use that word unless it's that's got a legal meaning. Corrupt does. It is self-serving. That's just the way it works. That's just the truth. I mean, it is what it is, right? Do I think it's wrong and bad and all that? I mean, it's not good, but it is what it is. No matter how you look at this map, somebody was going to think it was self-serving. Corrupt, that's an opinion word. Self-serving is hard to argue with, but that's what this process is self-serving. Whoever's the best at self-serving wins. This is last point. The only time in state history a rural county seat has been divided. County seat. Okay. The county seat is tip here. The only time a rural county seat's been divided, I don't know about that. That could be. I can't answer that for you, but I think Mike Cunningham is the type of guy that you don't really argue with. He is a very, 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 very intelligent guy, careful guy. Bottom line is Mike Cunningham not happy with how this happened. If I had to guess, this is going to get, somebody's going to sue. They sue over all of them. If I recall, 10 years ago, there was a little finger of the 6th that went down into Blue Springs and grabbed some Republicans. They kicked that out. Wow, somebody's got some opinions about cancer. But it was pretty minor. There's little fingers all over this thing. I don't pretend to predict what gets challenged and what doesn't. But boy, it would shock me to no end if it would shock the hell out of me if this isn't litigated. I have no clue whether somebody will get an injunction or not, but we'll see what happens. Interesting day, busy day. It's the pre-filing deadline. We got people filing all over the place. Coming out of this, if you're Lincoln Huff file, Peter Red filed earlier today. That means Crystal Quay's going to file probably today or tomorrow for her House seat, if she hasn't already. And then Steve Roberts files for Congress. If I had to guess, you will see a couple surprises tomorrow. You've heard mine. We will be get to go to Wellington High School tomorrow and celebrate the girls basketball state championship at Wellington High, and then I'll be back in the Capitol, and I will update everybody Wednesday with our normal Stein of knowledge. We'll be pouring out here. We'll be pouring one. If my predictions are right, a little Budweiser in there. If they're wrong, we will have a little water and we'll try to forget about it. You know what I'm talking about. But no, we'll hopefully see you back here and watch the show on K. It's right now. You can go check it out. KMOS over in Warrensburg, Central Missouri. It was an honor to be there. We thank you guys, and we'll see you Wednesday.